Hey guys, it's John. You on the JRB Tree Climbing channel, and I'd like to show you how I tie the Buffalo Hitch. Recently I did a video on the Clove Hitch and the Girth Hitch and the Bull Hitch, and I introduced a Bull Hitch variant I called the Buffalo Hitch just to see if it had been a named knot. I sent that into the International Guild of Knot Tiers, and to date, to our knowledge, it is not a named knot, and we agreed it is a variant of the Bull Hitch, and that Buffalo Hitch seems to work as a name. So let's keep calling it that, and let's take a look at how we tie it. I've got it tied here on the left on a carabiner. I've got it tied here on the right on a rappel ring with different diameter ropes. I generally use the Buffalo Hitch in these kinds of applications as a substitute for the scaffold knot. I don't generally use it on something like this horizontal bar where I can't get around the end of it, or this tree trunk. I have other hitches such as the JRB hitch for those types of applications. The Buffalo Hitch is either end loadable. You can load one strand or both strands. So I've got these tied, this one tied pretty close to the end where I'm obviously intending to only load one side. All right, let's look at the finished product so we know what to inspect for. So on the one side, it's got 3 horizontal bars, and that bottom bar, if I follow it around the other side, it forms a crossing point on the back side. So the bottom bar, when dressed properly, of the 3 goes around and forms the cross. Let's take a look at it here in the red. So here it's fixed on a beaner, and that bottom bar goes around and forms this cross on the back side. And the top 2 bars go up into form the center of the hitch. To remove it, let's remove it from this carabiner. Like the scaffold knot, you can simply remove the beaner and it will collapse. Depending on how much you've loaded it, that'll just fall out. Okay, so let's start there with the beaner and show you how to tie it. It's really quite simple. You start by forming a girth hitch. I think everyone can do that in their sleep, right? Everyone can form a girth hitch in this manner. And all I do with this girth hitch is I leave a little extra room in there to work. And I'm going to rotate these 2 loops under the other loop in an alternating fashion. So I'll start with the one on the right. I'm going to rotate it under the one on the left and around 360 degrees. And I've actually just formed a bull hitch. And now I'm going to take the one on the left and rotate it around under the one on the right, 360 degrees. And I have just formed a Buffalo Hitch. Let's put that beaner on. Now let's dress that out, right? So we want to get those 2 descending legs up into the hitch. So now let's inspect it. This bottom bar, go around and it forms the crossing point on the other side. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that one more time. Form a girth hitch. Take the right side under the left 360 degrees. Take the left side under the right 360 degrees. I'll get my beaner on that, and then I'll dress it out. Just flipping those around, get them into that position. Okay, now we're going to take a look at it on the rappel ring. Slightly larger diameter rope, slightly stiffer rope. Under the load that I can produce with my body in climbing situations, I'm never struggling to remove this from the ring. And now it wasn't loaded this time, but I simply, with my finger strength, I can pull this over and then repeat the process and remove it. So it's really quite easy to remove. That is not an easy exercise with a scaffold knot. You might see yourself grabbing for a set of pliers, and that's just not fun. Okay, how do we tie this? So I want to tie it near the end of the rope. I've got about 18 inches or so of tail just on the bottom of the screen. And the first thing I do is take my rappel ring and put it over the top. So I've got it holding it down near the bottom here. I'm going to put my thumb through to just keep things oriented properly. And now what I do is I will overlap. It doesn't matter which one's over which one. I will simply overlap them so that I've got 3 distinct segments on my rope. Now, keeping my right hand in place, keep that orientation, I'll fold this top one down. Then I'll fold it down again. So I've effectively got 3 360-degree turns in here. And then with that, I'm going to pass the rappel ring through and dress that out. Give it a good tug. So there we have Buffalo Hitch. 3 turns on the one side. I follow this bottom one around and I get that crossing point on the back side. And to remove it, it'll collapse down to a bull hitch, then collapse down to a girth hitch, and then is removable. Now there are other ways to tie this. I showed one of them in the video where I introduced it. I like to keep things simple and just use these 2 methods. And of course the method I just showed also works on a carabiner, right? Because that's absolutely the same, right? So we'll take our bite of rope. This time we'll put the beaner over it instead of the ring, but quite obviously everything's going to work the same way. Just need a little more geometry to get our beaner through there. I don't tend to use this method for for the beaner. I tend to use the other method, and for the ring I use this method, but it's all the same. And this is extremely secure. So I'm using this in life safety situations, and I've got a number of applications for it, and I'll be showing you those in videos to come. Thank you very much.